Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. This one's located on the attack team on Ghost Town Assault, and it's under the command of talon1958. And yes, they've started again. It's another week, it's another weekend lie-in, and well, Talon has put in the first couple of rounds. It's a 2 replay video, and he wants another lie-in. He got the lie-in last week, and I think he wants another one. Okay, well, he's decided to stay in the spawn area for the moment. On Ghost Town, it can actually help sometimes if you go down the wings either side, which means going to the north or going to the south. Enemy tank in sight. It's an AMX 1357. He fires around in. Doesn't get a hit this time, but I'd hold on to his ammo until he can get a clear shot at that Barask or the AMD, because I think they're probably going to be stationary for taking some of their shots. AMD almost loaded. If he stops for a shot, he's on the move, rounds out, looks good. Ooh, well, it stunned him. That'll slow him down a little, make it easier for our teammates to get shots. The enemy Barask got wiped out by our Leo, and this AMD, well, oh, well, he didn't survive very long. The Panther 2 got him in the end. Now, it's not a good idea for Arty to go through the town on this particular map, mainly because the buildings actually do obstruct your fields of fire, but also down to the fact that you need to either concentrate on one side or the other of the map. Oh, direct hit! Oh yes, that was a really good shot, that one. That T-3485 took the hit, but we don't know how much damage. I think it was a fairly decent shot. And he's moving to cover. You could see where the shell landed. It was on the front upper plate. He's firing blind. Nope, nothing off that one. Okay, on the other side of the map we've got an Eagle 7. See if we can get a shot into him. T-23E, I think it is, if I remember correctly. T-23. Okay, he's decided to change, and now he's going to the centre of the map. If you go down one of the two wings, you might restrict the number of enemy tanks you can actually hit. But on the other side of the coin is you're safe if the enemy does actually make a rather good assault down the other end. In this game, it looks like the enemy are holding us up on the south side, and the Eagle 7 is holding us up on the north side. So he's got his choice. He can actually head further south and help the Super Hellcat and the M6 overcome the enemy tanks on that side. Or he could go and try and help out by killing this Eagle 7. I think in this case I'd prefer to go to the north one, because I think that Eagle 7, he's just moving backwards and forwards in that general area. That must have been close. There's that AMX 1357 again, the same guy turned up. It's 480 alpha with the stock gun, 38mm of pen, standard reload 25.31 seconds, Talon's got 20.50. Firing blind into that general area in the hope that he'll hit something. Okay, well, the guys in the town are doing exceptionally well. So he doesn't need to support them. But we've suddenly found the enemy Arty, and oh, he's gone. Okay, so he could move in on this wing of the map and try and help the Super Hellcat and the M6. The enemy Arty is a Crusader SP. That's the only one left alive. The M44 got wiped out fairly quickly the moment he was discovered. The Crusader SP will fire over the entire range of the map, and that shall, I think, hit the rock face there. Oh, there is a target over here. It's an A43. Supposedly the replacement for the T-3485 didn't get produced. Oh, and the T-25-2 stood up. They are very thin on armor. Rounds out. Looks good. Splashes him for 6. But it stunned him, and that's made him think twice. The A-43's pulled back. Okay, so we can focus on him now, because he's going to be fighting against the T-34-85 on our team. And that's why he's trying to get gun depression there by coming up there on the slope. The T-25-2 is moving up the slope towards our M6. So we did lose one of our teammates. Now Talon's moving into the bushes here to try and get a better shot. Now the enemy just lost their T-25-2. Talon from this position is trying to get a shot on their A-43. Our teammates seem to have lost sight of him, but I think the Scorpion's trying to flank him at the moment. Where is he? Well, there's their enemy Arty, and we can hit that one. Oh, no, we can't actually. He's just outside range, but he does get wiped out. And there's the Cromwell. Now, we can hit the A-43 with a splash. Well worth a try. Rounds out. Oh, just before our shell arrives. So far, Talon's only got 6 hit points. But there's still 5 enemies out there. We've got an advantage of 2 at the moment. They're going to deal with the tank that was actually in the corner down to the south. So Talon's decided to have a go at this Eagle 7. Okay, get him on the return when he pulls back. Oh, no. Okay, so he's going to have to wait for the reload. You can see he was manoeuvring as if he was trying to avoid the Arty rounds. He knows the GW Panther is shooting in this direction. There's only 3 enemies left. They've killed the tank in the south, and they're moving up now. The enemy tank still remaining, Su-130PM, Eagle 7 and an Su-100. Oh, we just lost our T-34-85 to the Su-130PM. So he is definitely in the northeast corner. In fact, they're marking he's near the rock. So he must be in the bushes just to the south of that rock, or just to the west of the rock. Talon, on the other hand, is actually just in the town square at the moment. I'm not sure. Oh, he's trying to get a position so he can shoot without being spotted. Okay, there he is. That's the Su-100. So the Su-130PM is probably on the other side. Rounds out. Oh! And again, he probably would have got a hit, but for the fact that that guy managed to get killed before Talon's shell arrived. Now, she's too close to the buildings now to get a shot. But I think he's trying to help his team by getting close to the cap. There's only 2 enemy tanks left, the Su-130PM and that Eagle 7. He just got spotted by somebody. So he's going to go... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Well, that's one way of fixing it, but you lost 42 hit points. And the enemy is taking fire. Or the enemy's taking fire, and his teammates are taking fire. And he's just driving around to try and find a good position to go to. He's found this spot here, but he has been spotted. And yes, he's been hit by the Eagle 7, but he got a hit back. But he might not survive long, because I think the Su-130PM is probably going to try and nail him. The Eagle 7 is still there. There he is. And he's gone. Okay, and we've capped out now. So it's too late for the Su-130PM to do anything. Oh, he got really close as well. It was only a short distance away. Well, at least he was still alive and he had 1 hit point left at the end of the game. Talon didn't get anything, no classification, no medals off that game, but he was alive and he did get some credits. So I suppose that's one bit of compensation that he did get. His win rate for the game was fairly low by Talon's standards. That's only 604. Yes, let's have a look at the team score and see where he was. Well, at the end of the game, he was mid-table, funnily enough, because the top scorer was the defender, who managed to get 3,455 hit points. He picked up a Pascucci's and a high caliber. Second highest damage in the game actually went to the Panther 2 with 2,173, and the third highest damage in the game went to the Eagle 7 with 2,132. He picked up a defender by resetting the cap. I think he actually hit, yes, he did hit Talon. And the SU-130PM also got a defender in that game, 1,536. When it came to kills, it was the Scorpion that did the best. The little Scorpion, the American one, 5 kills for him. Not bad, with a 90mm gun and no armor. 3 kills went to the defender, 3 kills went to the Panther 2, and 3 kills to the SU-130PM. I'm afraid Talon didn't get any kills at all. And when it came to base XP, it was the defender who did the best with 1,015, 936 to the T-3485 who picked up a Leather Slaves medal, and 929 to the Panther 2 with, well, just 3 kills. Talon managed to get 393 XP out of that one, puts him mid-table, and yes, which is not bad, even though he didn't get any kills and didn't really get any big damage until he actually fired that single round at the Eagle 7, and well, the Eagle 7 fired one back at him. I'd always say under those circumstances, if you are going into a cap like that, try and park yourself behind one of your teammates, because remember, you've got no armor and they've got armor, so at least they can hopefully deflect a shot that's aimed in your direction. He fired 15 rounds in that game, only got 1 direct hit, and it was on the Eagle 7. No penetrations, but 7 splash. Damage of 452 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Received 1 hit from that Eagle 7, it was a pen. 3 enemy vehicles were damaged, none were killed, and 7 stuns were caused, but no stun assist. He managed to get 18 capture points at the end, and that contributed to their win. 20,009 credits from the game, 50,000 for completing the mission, so his grand total was 70,009 credits altogether. And even if you take off that bonus, you still come out with a profit overall. He actually ended up with 60,033 credits, so he would have had a profit of 10,033 even if he didn't have the bonus. So pretty good going there. 589 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 1,179, but we know that Talon could do a lot better than that in the Hummel. Let's do our normal session. We'll actually show you the armor on the Hummel. It's virtually non-existent, I'm afraid. Look at that, 32mm effective armor on the front of the vehicle. It's basically a Panzer IV with a Panzer III running gear, but it lacks most of the armor. They've taken a lot of the armor off because they've got this huge howitzer right in the center of the vehicle, and so that's where all the weight is, and so they needed to make it as light as possible. The armor on the gun shield, as you can see here, is only 11mm. It's only to stop small arms and splinters. That's all it's there to do. In fact, the rear of the vehicle, normally when it's in operation in the game, that shield is always up. It's a 10mm shield, but in actuality that shield would always be lowered when they're actually shooting, so anything that hit the rear of the vehicle, it would kill the crew inside it. So yeah, not much armor. So it doesn't have much in the armor. Where are the modules? Well, if we have a look at the module map, we can see that there's 2 people up front, the driver's on the right hand side, the radio operator's on the left hand side. He's got the radio between the 2 of them. Obviously he also operates the machine gun. We've got the transmission up front, and there's the engine right underneath the howitzer. Now, normally on a Panzer IV the engine would be at the back, but because they needed this area for the crew to operate the howitzer, So they move the engine up front, and that centers the weight of the vehicle directly underneath the center of gravity, which of course is the big howitzer. That's where most of the weight is. We can see here that the gunner is on the left hand side of the vehicle as you're looking at it at the moment, and the commander is on the other side, and we've got two loaders sitting at the back right next door to the ammo racks. Now this shell, this Arty, actually has separate cased ammunition. It's the shell itself does have the explosive in, of course, and you put the shell into the breech, and then you put bags of powder into the shell case, and that goes in after the actual shell itself, the projectile. So you determine how far the shell is actually going to go by how many bags of powder you put into that shell casing, and you reuse the same shell casing virtually every time. And I think they put a little primer plug into the back of the shell casing so that when you fire the gun, it hits the primer plug, sets off the powder, and then projects the shell out of the gun. So yes, the ammo here, I believe these boxes at the back are where the actual shells are, and these this rack here is where the primer shells are, the primer and the powder which they mix to make the shell operate. We can see the fuel tank is at the back of the vehicle. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to hit that because you've got the rollers in the way. Much easier to hit the engine actually. Just aim for the center of the vehicle, you're more than likely going to get that, or hit the front and you'll get either the driver or the radio operator. The engine will prevent you from hitting the guys at the back of the vehicle unless of course you aim high and try to aim specifically either side of the main howitzer and penetrate one of the crew who are operating in there. So there you go. That's where all the modules are on the Hummel. Let's have a look at the second replay, and this time round we've got the GW Panther. And Talon is on the west spawn of Airfield. In this game, it's a tier 8 game. He's tier 7 German Arty. Well, you can see from the markings he's had more than a few ace tankers in this vehicle. And he's got one mark of excellence up on the barrel. I seem to remember that Angelina's got 2 marks of excellence, so he's got to do a bit of catching up, I think. Okay, GW Panther, based on the Panther hull, but it lacks the supercharger, which means the engine is very much underpowered, and that slows this vehicle down quite a lot. Wargaming actually had the right to actually include the supercharger if they wanted to, simply because this Arty never actually got produced. So they could have put a standard Panther hull in it, but they didn't. Now we did see an enemy tank moving through that pass, but I think we just saw the tracer from the enemy Arty, and he's over in that area in the bushes at the back. Enemy light tank spotted in the north of the airstrip. There's nobody to counter him at the moment, so it's probably a good idea for Talon to be down in the south, because not only has he got fairly good firing avenues, or arcs I should say, on the enemy to the north, but yes, he's further away from that AMX. In fact, the AMX 1357 just got wiped out, so he doesn't have to worry about that guy anymore, but he might have to worry about this Kampfpanzer 07RH or the T71 CMCD who happens to be with him. Okay, TNH 105 1000, he's still dialing in, almost ready to go. That's out. Well, landed in front of him for a critical hit and some stun. The enemy lost their T71DA, but they've actually got a CMCD there as well. And despite the fact that he's got wiped out, now the Kampfpanzer 07 going in for the kill on our T71DA. It might be a good idea for Talon to move, because that tank is headed in our way, and yeah, he's the next one he's going to see. No, he's decided he's going to stay here and try and get a shot on the guy as he approaches. Here we go. Oh, no, he pulled back. Why did he do that? Did he know that he was in sight of somebody? Here he comes. Talon's waiting. He's got a red line there. Something is blocking his shot. Oh, and the Camp Panzer goes down to a shot from the Scorpion G, which means Talon's safe again. Okay, Scorpion G at distance on the enemy team. Rounds out. Long flight time. Hits the rock face. I'd stay, just move a little further away, but keep this position for the moment. There's some juicy tanks sitting in the avenue. Yep, he's going to do that. Good. Oh, that KV5, they're difficult to kill. A lot of armor on those. Rounds out. No, it hits the rock face. I would have said go for the TNH 105 1000 and the Type 62 because they're in the pass. He's aiming now for the Super Hellcat on Temple Mount. Now, the Super Hellcat has fairly thin armor, so he can make a mess of this guy. Rounds out. Direct hit. Yep, he did go into the bush. IS-2 shielded. Looks like he's going to be the next target. And that Arty fires again. We just saw the tracer. Okay, he's going to try and hit the KV5. Rounds out. Ah! Direct hit for 290. That was not a bad shot. The alpha of the GW Panther is 600. Penetrates 39mm of armor, so it wouldn't really penetrate a KV5 unless he showed us his rear. But even then, his rear is fairly tough. Okay, he's just changed his position a little to avoid counter battery, and he's looking for an enemy tank. Okay, this TNH 105 makes a good shot. Oh, another AMX 1357. We did kill one of them earlier, or rather somebody did. Rounds out. Just missed the opportunity to get some hit points there. Two more tanks are trying to make the south approach. The IS-2 shielded and the P-43. So, yeah, I think he has to move north now. Because when there's two tanks coming up, we're in trouble. We've lost one of the tanks that was guarding the cap period, the Super Hellcat on our team. And now there's only the Striv S1 in there. I have a feeling that the IS-2 shielded is going to be coming up behind us very soon. In fact, he's just going around the rock now to make the circuit. And that Peter looks a bit nasty as well. You might want to stay behind this rock to get a shot on that Peter if you can. There he is. Dialing in as fast as he can. Rounds out. Well, stunned him. Unfortunately, that's told the Peter where he is, but yes, we've now lost the Striv. Or was it the Striv? I think it was the Striv. But the enemy just lost their Peter, so we don't have to worry about him now. Just the IS-2 shielded. There's only 4 left on our team, facing 5 enemy. Now, he might have gone a little too far over here, because if the enemy does come by the airfield, they might see him, but I think he's trying to get a shot at this T-25-2. Rounds out. Close. And they just lost their TNF 105 1000. He's decided to try and take a risk and head north on the airstrip. He's knocking over a lot of trees to give him extra protection. You can't get a shot on the SU-130PM from here. And it wouldn't be safe for him to move now because he is in cover. And if he does fire, he might give away his position straight away because he's very close to the bush. Still got a red line, so he can't shoot. Oh, that's better. Pulled back from the bush. Okay, can get a shot on the T-25-2 though. Yes! Kill! And the M41 Reveillerise said thank you. Ow! Well, I'm sorry, but that means the IS-2 shielded got behind us, and he's trying to seek the comfort of the rock. But he needs to keep the rock between him and the enemy's still firing at him. He'll probably start blind firing now. Yep. Well, it's over. For as far as Talon's concerned, there's not a lot he can do now except support his teammates. At least he got a kill. T25-2 took that one right in the face. Very thin armor on T25-2, so yep, got something out of it. He says good luck. Okay, there's the Reveillerise, 2 marks on his barrel. There's the setter, last 2 teammates. Well, the IS-2 shielded could come around and go towards the cap, and if he does, he might spot the Reveillerise. I think the setter's set off to try and get the enemy Arty. It's an M12. Yep. Talon's suggesting he go for Arty. Setter's on his way. But the Arty's actually up north, if we remember. That's where it was last seen. Setter's looking in the wrong place. He's somewhere in grid square E0. It might be even further north now. Well, the enemy's capping, so which one is it? I think it's the IS-2 shielded. He's just spotted the M12. And that was a fire, so he's got an arsonist. I do like this. Talon's actually switching to the tank that's actually engaging it at any particular moment, and that gives us a good idea of what's actually going on in the battle. There's 2 in the cap now, so both of the enemy, the SU-130PM and the IS-2 shielded, are up here. Now, where are they? Probably on the left. I go through the buildings on the left. I'd be wrong because the SU-130PM's on the right. You get hit by the IS-2 shielded and taken out by the SU-130PM. And that's it. They've capped out. Here's the end of battle stats, and this time round Talon manages to get a bruiser medal from that battle. I'm afraid he only got 6 critical hits in the game, but no other medals. His win rate is better, 1,846 this time, and that technically puts him in the lead in the contest with Angelina75. If we look at the team score, we can see that he's a little further up the table. In fact, actually, he's 4th place on his team by damage, but not 4th place in the game overall, because there was 3 members of the enemy team who actually scored more damage than he did. So actually, in actual fact, he's in 7th place on damage in this game. The high scorer in the game was the M4A1 Revelarice. He got a high caliber for 3,811 hit points. The second highest damage was their TNH-105 1000 with 3,486. And the third highest damage was their Scorpion G with 2,614. Talon got 1,602, which is not bad. And when it came to kills, it was the Revelarice that did the best with 4 kills. 2 kills went to the T28 HTC, the Setter, the TNH-105 1000, the Camp Panzer 07, the SU-130PM, and the P43 or Peter. And when it came to base XP, it's the enemy team who did the best here with 1,088 went to the TNH, 833 went to their Scorpion, 689 went to the Camp Panzer 07, and Talon managed to get 362. So not bad on the losing team, but at least it puts him on the scoreboard. He fired 10 rounds in this game, got 3 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrations, and 5 splash. Excuse me, I didn't realise that he actually did get some pens. I suspect that the pens he actually got with the Hellcat and maybe the Scorpion? No, he didn't get the Scorpion. No, it was the T25-2. 576 hit points when he smacked that shell right into his face. And the other one was the Hellcat. Yes, I was right. That was the blind hit. He did 690 hit points from that blind hit. So really did cripple that Super Hellcat when that shell went in. 5 splash damage on the enemy as well. 1,602 hit points. All of it done at more than 300 meters. Received 2 hits from the enemy and he was out the game. The IS-2 shielded in both cases. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, 74 hit points of damage assistance plus 145 hit points of stun assist of 6 stuns. He earned 23,346 credits from the game, 45,000 for completing a mission, 68,346 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 53,260 credits altogether. Again, he would have made a profit even if he hadn't got the reward for completing a mission. 543 XP and no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. So this game would have been a good one either way, because he did do some nice damage in this game. He didn't get so much damage in the previous game. Let's have a look at the features of the GW Panther. This is a tank that was never actually created, but you can see here on the model it's basically a Panther hull with the turret at the back, the engine's up front. You can see the armour on the front of the vehicle is actually quite strong. Lower plate is quite strong as well, but that's angled. Let's have a look at it unangled. Yes, so you're still going to be a bit concerned if you fire a round in through the front of this vehicle, it might actually bounce off. If you hit the sides though, it'll easily go through because very thin armour. And of course the gun shield is negligible, it's just there to stop shrapnel. And so anything, small arms or shrapnel fire, anything hits that, it's going to go straight through. Okay, if we look at the next one, which of course is the modules, you can see the engine up front, the fuel tank right next door to it, transmission in the front of the vehicle altogether. So if you aim this side, you'll actually hit the engine. If you aim the other side, you'll set the fire tank, the fuel tank off. And there's the radio actually down there. And the driver is on his own in the front of the compartment, so whilst the rest of the crew are in the back, he's on his own up front. We can see, looking at the back, that the gunner is on the left side of the gun, of the howitzer, and the commander is on the right hand side. And in the back we've got 2 loaders and the ammo racks lying alongside the hull. So basically that shield extends a little way down here. I think if you could just see it. So they're actually, the shells are lying inside the hull of the Panther and along the sides. So if you want to set the ammo rack off, you have to aim for the side of the vehicle at the back. If you aim too high into the gun shield, you'll set off or kill the loaders or the commander or the gunner. But you probably couldn't kill both because the howitzer might be in the way. But if you want to get that ammo rack explosion, you have to aim for the top of the hull as it appears, because if I show the armour, you can see that's the top of the hull. So the ammo rack is in this area here on the vehicle. I'll go back to the module view, and there you go, you can see it. Top of the vehicle at the back, underneath the gun shield. And that's where the ammo rack is. So yeah, okay. I hope you find that useful. It certainly will tell you where to aim, or if you want to take out a GW Panther. I know I'm actually showing you this particular vehicle so you can actually want to play it. You don't want people to hit it, but it's useful for what Arty Noobs plays to actually know where all the modules are on a particular vehicle so you can get the best effect. So if you aim the shell for the front of a Panther, you'll probably just take out the engine and the fuel, but if you aim for the back, you'll get the ammo rack. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below, and we'll be waiting for Angelina to send in her first replays of this week. It's Thursday today. This replay will be going out later on today. Hopefully I'll get it out by the afternoon, and then Angelina will probably send in her first game once she gets a chance to play one and post it. Thanks for watching.